All right, so today I'm going to be showing you, this is actually a topper that I made for Halloween for October, and I had it filmed, but my cat unexpectedly died, so I just couldn't edit it, so you're getting it now. It's Christmas Brains. It's a topper for a tumbler, of course, and it looks really great on one of my drippy tumblers here. This is one of my favorite tumblers. But the fun thing about this is it does glow in the dark. I'm here by myself, so I'm going to show you this here. Just give me 1 second. And this is Canada, so right now we don't have a lot of sunlight. I like to charge these in the window or outside, but it is not the nicest day today, so we're not going to be getting any sun. We don't get a lot of sun in the north in Canada in the winter, so we have to make do with what we've got. So there we go. What do you guys think of that? I really like this. I love glow-in-the-dark stuff, and the glow-in-the-dark brains just really, it's really a fun one. It is pretty glowy. It is as glowy as it looks in the camera here. Let me just get the light again. Feels a little strange talking to myself in the dark, but do let me know what you guys think of these toppers. I've been making quite a few of them. I really like making them. If there's something you want me to make that you want me to experiment with, please do let me know. I love experimenting with stuff. It's like my favorite thing to do. And please enjoy this video. Thanks so much for watching. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is mix up a 2-part epoxy resin. You could alternatively use UV resin for this as well, but I'm going to use the 2-part epoxy resin. The one I use I just get from Michael's from Craft Smart. It works just fine. We're going to mix that up, and then we're going to add glow powder to that and neon paint. The neon paint I'm just using for some extra color. So I don't really measure anything when I do this. I just mix up a little bit of the glow powder, a little bit of the paint, and then some of the epoxy resin, mix it up, and then I do go and test it under a black light and then see how much it glows just to make sure it's going to glow enough. You don't have to make these bases glowing, but it does make a much nicer product in the end. Next, we're going to add some of these tiny little rare earth magnets to the mold, and the idea of this is you glue 2 of them onto the lid of your tumbler, and then you can remove the tumbler so you can wash it, or you can travel with your tumbler lid and not worry about it getting dirty or moldy, and you can take it off and rinse it, and you can also wash your lid properly so you don't have to worry about getting mold. And then we're going to add our mixture of the glow powder and the paint to our mold. And then you wait about 24 hours for this to cure, and then we'll be ready for the next step. All right, so our topper is now cured, and we're just going to pop that out of the mold and then get started on the next part. So for this, we're going to use this Fast and Final DAP lightweight spackling. It's very nice and light colored, so if you are using this as a white, you don't even need anything. You don't need to add anything to it. It's very nice and white already. We're going to use some neon green Craft Smart paint, and we're going to use some glow-in-the-dark paint as well. Any glow-in-the-dark paint that glows green is fine. Most of the ones at the dollar store do, as well as the one at Michael's. And we're going to use some of our green glow powder as well. So what we're going to do to start is we're going to add some of our spackling to just a disposable cup. And I should have a scoop for this, but I forgot to bring it. So we're going to use our glove. So first thing we're going to do is add some of our Craft Smart paint. You don't need too much. This is just to give it a nice color. You can always add more if you don't have enough in there. And we're going to add some of our kids paint here. Just glow-in-the-dark paint. I did purchased this at Michael's. I do think I bought it last year though, so I don't know if it's available still. But they do have glow-in-the-dark paint for sure. So just any glow-in-the-dark paint that glows green. Add some of that, and then we're going to add some of our green mica powder and some of our olive mica powder. And the more of the mica that you add, the more glow you're going to get. And then we're just going to stir this and see if we need to add any color to it. When you're making these, if you're concerned about the glow, do charge it with a UV light or with a light or outside, and then bring it into a dark room and see how much it glows, and that's how much it's going to glow when it's done. So you can always test these out a bit, make sure it's going to glow enough for you, and if it doesn't, add more glow powder, add more glow-in-the-dark paint, whatever you have to do to get the finished product that you want. There we go, it's a nice color. I'm going to give this a test outside, and then I'll be back. Alright, so we're ready to put this into our piping bag and pipe it onto our coaster top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of Model Magic, which I only have this in white at the moment, but any color should work. I'm just going to raise this up a bit, make it kind of a brain shape. And I'm going to do another one. A little more there. We're gonna just use this as something to kind of level this up a bit, because it's just a little flat, which is fine as well, but I want it to be a little larger, or higher, I should say. All right, let's try that. Okay, and now we're going to spackle on top of that. You can see it. All right, so we've got all of our spackling into our piping bag. This is the end I'm using. I'll link these in the description. It's a kit that I bought off Amazon with a whole bunch of different ends, and it's actually pretty cool. All right, so now we're going to spackle over our little brain form here, and hopefully I can do this without making too big of a mess. I maybe have made the brain a little big, but we're going to see here. And if you have a little more of the spackling into your piping bag, this actually goes a lot easier than what I'm trying to do. But I just made enough to make this topper. I didn't dye up a whole bunch of it. I'm just going to use a tool here to separate my brain halves here. All right, so we're done with the piping here, and it does look okay. You can see it's got some kind of squiggles in it, but it doesn't quite look brain-like enough for me. So I'm going to use my little tool here, and I'm going to put some little swirls in this brain, make it more brain looking, maybe a little bit over the top. Not really what a brain looks like, but kind of what I want it to look like. So that's what I'm going to do with this. There we go. I think that actually looks better. There you go. So we're going to let this dry, and then we will show you what it looks like. So here is our finished topper. I think it looks fairly brain-like. But the best part of it is, and here is our little brain tumbler topper in the dark. This is very, very cool. And if you want to make it to have a straw in the middle just while you're making it, or you could even drill a hole through this, just make it with a hole in it instead. Just put a hole in it, or alternatively, you could drill this out if you have a drill press. This really is a fun one to make. I hope you've enjoyed this, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and do subscribe if you enjoy the videos. It really does help me build the channel. Thanks for watching.